Hey guys, Allie here from Champagne and Coffee Stains, and I was thinking about doing something new today, and we'll see how it goes. I would love to hear in the comments if you like this format, if this is helpful, or if there's anything else you would like to see. But I was going to start documenting my Chicago Marathon training. I think that marathon training, there's so much that you learn from it, and I've definitely have not mastered it at all. I'm going to be running my sixth marathon in Chicago this upcoming October. And my goals are nowhere near where they want to be. So my fastest marathon to date was back in, I think, 2014. My grandma's marathon, I ran a 4:22. And since then, it's kind of gone slower, but also two kids. So that's what happens. Now I'm starting to come back. I've stabilized a little bit more. So my ultimate goal would be eventually to qualify for Boston, which in my age group, I would probably need about a 3:30. So we will see how Chicago goes and what goals my coach and I are setting for. My last marathon that I ran was last year in the Twin Cities. It's DC Marathon. It was a super hot day. I think it ended up being like 75 degrees. And it's a very hilly course. So I ended up doing a 4:40, but I was actually really, really proud of that time because that was the first race that I actually figured out my fueling strategy. Um, I've been doing a lot of research ever since getting back into the world of distance and endurance running about how to properly get in fuel while you're running, as well as what do you need to do before and after running. I went ahead and I got my certification with Precision Nutrition to learn more about macros and how that impacts your body, as well as I've done a ton of reading on it too. But I mean, really, the best way to actually learn something is to do it trial and error, in my opinion, because one thing that might work for somebody might not work for somebody else. So it's a matter of just figuring out what your body really needs. So that's kind of what I've been playing around with. Last year, I established a fueling strategy that worked fantastic for me. And then this year, I'm going to continue working on that and kind of revamping it and just making sure that it's really optimized. So I'm going to use this series to kind of break down how my training is going, what hiccups come along the way, what I'm currently thinking about and what my workouts look like, as well as what supplements and nutrition things that I'm going to be taking. So today, we can recap what I did for my run. So I'm not officially kicking off my Chicago Marathon training until June, more than likely. So right now I'm kind of just in the base building phase. I've been doing lately a few local races just to kind of get the feet back on the ground, because during the winter here in Minnesota, it's pretty nasty out. So I like to just take it indoors on my treadmill, kind of take it a little bit easier, just basically doing some base stuff, which, let's be honest, I pretty much avoid the incline on the treadmill. So I'm just slowly starting to get back outside now that it's finally starting to warm up. So right now, really base building. I have a half marathon coming up in May. And then after that, I think I'm pretty quiet until a few halves right before Chicago. So this will be a really good buildup to Chicago. So right now, my base mileage is about 35 miles a week. I am working with a coach, and she has me doing one speed workout a day, or a week, I should say, one speed workout a week, which is usually intervals. They can range anywhere from 1 mile up to 2 miles at a faster pace, a recovery, and then it'll be usually a repeat. And then usually a hill workout, bunch of easy runs in between, 3 days of strength training, and then I'm also doing my long run. So all in, I run about 4 days a week, and then I do strength training 3 days a week. But it is a combination of easier runs. For the most part, I'm doing really easy pace right now, except for those 2 days. Well, 1 to 2 days of either hills or intervals that I'm doing. So it's been completely manageable, and it's actually been really fun for me to be doing. So today's workout was actually a hill workout. This is the first one that I've done in a while, so it was really exciting to do. And it's funny because when my coach writes it, it looks something like, okay, do 2 mile warm up, which is super slow. Then go ahead and do 90 seconds fast, 90 seconds recover, do that 4 times. And then I had to sprint up a hill for 45 seconds and jog down 6 times, and then finish out until I get to 6 miles. And on paper, I always think that these workouts just look so crazy easy. I'm like, okay, that's going to be nothing. I don't need water. I'll be totally fine. But then like in the middle of it, that's when you really realize like, okay, this is a lot of work. And after I looked at my watch, I realized I really did about, it was a good, like mile and a half, I would say, of this speed workout that I did. So my recovery only ended up having to be about 1.5 miles afterwards. And I never realized how much of a bulk all this stuff is, because it's easier for me to see with my speed intervals, like, okay, I'm going to be doing 2 miles at this. So that means I only have to do like 1 mile cool down or something. But with this workout, I thought like for some reason I wouldn't even hit a mile of doing the intervals and doing the hills and everything. So it snuck up on me, I guess I should say. And now like I'm really feeling it on my legs because I found a hill nearby that's like a really decent hill. Because that's something that I also struggle with since moving to my new area, is that while it's hilly, some of the hills are just like super steep up, where for some of these longer workouts, you really want more of an incline or a slower incline so that you have a little bit of time. And then you also have the downhill so that you can actually recover and rest and whatnot. So all in, I'm feeling really good. This is, I had this workout, and then tomorrow I'll be strength training. And then on Thursday, or 2 days from when I'm filming this, I will be doing a speed interval. And then after that, it's kind of easy peasy for the rest of the week. On Saturday, I think I have a 6 mile. And then my long run this week is 11 miles, which slowly I'm getting up there. I think my longest long run this season so far has been 12 miles. And it's been really enjoyable. So that's something that I'm noticing, because I've only been working with my coach for a little over a year now. It'll be a year in June. And it's, when I first started working with her, it was like the traditional marathon building where you just like basically keep ramping up. So it's different to see what base building looks like with her. But so far it's been completely manageable, and I've really been enjoying the process. So that's where I thought that I would start to share some of the nutritional supplements that I've been using too, because while I'm doing my base building, this is the best time for me to go ahead and try to figure out more about what nutritionally I'm going to want to do once I actually get into the season and into my training. So usually my trainings are about 45 miles to 50-mile weeks. So they're a little bit more intensive. Right now, this is a higher week, so I'm about 35 miles a week with my 3 days strength training too. I do a little run beforehand. So it's a little lesser, but I have time right now to kind of figure out my nutrition. And I thought I would start with protein. So because I'm a runner, I really do focus on my carbs for the most part, but I'm really trying to focus on strength training this time around. I have a huge opportunity with strength training. It's something that I've never prioritized before, outside of going to like Orange Theory or like those group fitness classes. Never really looked into strength training at all. However, after having 2 kids, and potentially having to go through surgery for my diastasis recti that I have, thanks to my kids, I need to do a lot more strength training as I'm rebuilding, because my core just isn't what it used to be. And I really think that some of my opportunity is coming from not strength training and coming from only running and only focusing on the cardio part. So I'm trying to do more strength training, and I'm on a program that's 3 days a week. And I also do macro counting too. So I know that my carbs are very, very important, but I also need to be making sure that I'm getting in a bunch of protein. I'm working with a registered dietitian on what my goals should be for macros. And I'm currently getting in about 150 grams of protein a day. Ideally, I love to get my protein from whole foods, natural sources. And I actually do a really good job of doing that. One of my personal goals is to do about 30 grams of protein at every single meal that I eat. So in the morning, I like Kodiak pancakes. Those are pretty high. I'll do eggs. I'll do cottage cheese. I'll do things like that. But I do also like to supplement with a protein powder. For lunch, I'm a huge fan of chicken wraps. So that's been a super easy way to get in my protein. And I might even add on a slice of turkey bacon if I'm feeling crazy. But that's an easy way to get in about 30 grams. And then dinner time, it really revolves around the protein. And lately, we've been doing a lot of either chicken, ground turkey, or we've been doing, Costco has this really great cilantro lime shrimp. It's already prepared, and you just have to heat it up, and they make the best shrimp tacos. So we've been doing that. We'll do shrimp tacos, and then we've been making some pickled onions, and we'll do like asparagus or something on the side, which asparagus is also a better source of protein too. So you get about 2 grams for every like 70-ish grams of asparagus. But that all gets me to about where I need, and I can supplement for snacks, but I guess being a runner, I'm very carb focused, so I'm not always getting in the protein that I need. So I do supplement once or twice a day with a protein powder. And I wanted to show you today my all-time favorite protein powders, because I feel like everywhere you look, there are protein powders everywhere, and I'm a little selective with mine. I hate the ones that have a weird aftertaste afterwards because it's just gross. I'm already like hesitant about getting protein through a powder, so I want it to actually taste good. And I'm very I like my carbs. I love my bagels. I love waffles. I love my carbs. So I really don't need a protein powder that's loaded with the carbs to make it taste good. I need a protein powder that's going to be a protein powder. So I've been trying a ton of protein powders over the years. And this season, over the winter, I discovered Phorm. I did a video a few weeks ago about the Phorm app that I absolutely love. It completely changed everything for me and made me fall in love with strength training. And now I am using their protein powders. So I thought today I would give a high level overview of their protein powders, because they actually do have two, and what the difference is and how I use them. So the first one, have it here, level 1. So this is your basic one. This is basically, they call it kind of a meal replacement. They also have level 1 bars. I use this in the morning with my coffee. This is a slow, assimilated, I think it is, but it's a slow release protein powder. So basically it takes a while to get into your system, so it actually keeps you full longer. So I will happily say I've also been in a cut while I'm still having my miles down. So I'm trying not to snack and trying to keep my macros a little bit lower. And this has been a game changer for me because it actually does keep me full all morning long. So I have the caramel latte. I add a scoop into my coffee every morning. It makes it super, super frothy and amazing. I just have it black with that in it. And it tastes like I actually just went to Starbucks and got a really fancy drink. And the macros on it, it's only 150 calories for the protein and 23 grams of protein and only 7 grams of carbs. So that's why I love this powder so much. It's a super clean protein and it tastes amazing. I also have this in blueberry muffin flavor, which I thought would be really, really fun. So I got that one for baking, because that's another nice thing about these protein powders is that you can bake with them and make like waffles or muffins or any of the other things that you want to make, or you can just add it into your coffee, or if you want to be fancier and make like a protein shake with like fruits and all that stuff, you could do that too. But I'm very simple. I don't have time for any of that right now. So I just take a scoop of this in the morning, and it has really been a game changer for me. It goes perfect. I just do like one of those like little Nespresso cups and mix in my protein powder with it, and I'm good to go. So highly recommend this. This has been one of my go-tos now. I bring it whenever I travel as well. And I have noticed a difference because I'm not as hungry as I used to be. I would say like I used to snack around like 9, 10 o'clock. And because I've been having this, as well as I kind of spread it out a little bit, because I'll wake up with my kids, I'll have my Kodiak pancakes or waffles or whatever I'm having that day. And then usually an hour later after I drop them off, that's when it's coffee time for me. So I'm spreading it out a little bit more. So then I have more energy until I get to lunch, and then until I get my next protein fix. So I've noticed a big difference in my energy and my hunger levels too since taking it. So this is something that has become my go-to. And then the other protein powder that they have, this is a quick release one. So this one's called Phormula one. And this one is meant to be taken like right after you work out. You can also take it as a pre-workout, but I'm not sure if people really do have high protein foods before they work out. I know personally I try to stick to my carbs, but I'm a runner. So that might be more of the like strength training bodybuilding, but I usually try to stick to something a little bit more basic. And then I save my protein for afterwards. And this has been what I've been taking after all my workouts. It's really weird because like I initially thought like, okay, it's going to take me some time to build up and to get used to like taking my protein powders and whatnot. But I actually noticed this difference almost the same day or the next day after taking this one, because my legs just weren't as sore. even after like my speed workouts, after taking this one, and sometimes I'll add in a half a scoop of what they call ignition too, and it just really helps you recover after like really, really hard workouts. And I notice if I don't get that in compared to when I do get it in. So this has been something I've been taking for a few weeks now. I love it. This one has, it's 100% all protein. This is 20 grams of protein and it's fast acting. So basically within 30 minutes of your workout, you want to just take a scoop of this. I pack it in my protein, like little shaker bottle or whatever. And I just add in a little bit of water and it tastes great. I love, this one is chocolate mint cookie, and I swear it tastes just like Thin Mints. So that's been really, really like, it tastes like dessert after I work out and makes me feel good. But they also do have some really cool flavors. Like they have like a Lucky Charms type one. They have a Fruity Pebbles one. And I keep meaning to order it just to try it for the next month, but I love this one so much. Just like the caramel latte level one. I just love it so much that I'm like, I can't try it yet, but maybe one month I will eventually switch. But I swear, ever since starting to use both of these, my recovery times have been a lot faster. And that's how I've been able to, between taking my protein as well as doing my easy running, I've been able to recover a lot faster. I don't feel as sore. And I've been able to get in consistently 7 days of activities. So these have been so far my two go-to for protein powders. How I'm kind of imagining this whole series going is that I'm going to be sharing all of how I'm fueling. So in between what I'm doing for pre-runs, what I'm doing for post-runs, even during my runs, because I love trying new things too. I always feel like there's so many new things on the market. Why not try it all out? And the best time to try it out is when you're training, especially while I'm just base training right now. So I have the ability to do it and then kind of tweak like what's working. So let me know in the comments if this is helpful, what more you would like to see. As I start to ramp up my training, I'll get a little more detailed into like what I'm doing for my long runs, how I'm getting through my long runs, things like that, as well as all the training tips that I come along. So I would love to hear what you think, any questions that you have too. Especially I love helping out other mother runners too, or people who are just overly busy trying to squeeze in marathon training and into their lives as well. So let me know in the comments and be sure to subscribe, and I'll talk to you next time.